Semi-finals is in the top left-hand side. The red Terran player is HeroMarine, looking for some back-to-back weekly final action from him. He takes on blue Protoss bottom right Neeb, a match that's happened frequently in these ESL Open Cup weeklies over the weeks. We've seen many a week come down to HeroMarine and Neeb at some point of the tournament, and today is seemingly no different as we get this underway. ESL Open Cup number 52. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and tuning into the stream today. Best of 5 semi-finals here. Yeah, Neeb and HeroMarine, they played 1, 2, 3, 4 of these ESL Open Cups against each other. 3 times in the final, and HeroMarine has a 2-1 record in finals, and 1 time in the round of 8 where HeroMarine also won. Now, HeroMarine at the moment on a 4-match winning streak against Neeb. And Neeb that kind of leveled up toward the end of 2020 as well. I would have expected that from Neeb. I guess actually most of those matches are... There's only 1 match of that, which was actually in the very end of 2020. Neeb really actually seemed to power up a little bit towards the last couple of months of 2020. I know he had a rough kind of middle of the year. The WARDS Team League, for example, was far from his... far from his kind of peak performance, wasn't it? The WARDS Team League was pretty brutal for him, to say the least. As that probe makes its way out down toward the bottom right hand side, trying to see what's going on. Factory building up from HeroMarine in the main base again. Now ready to go. The SCV pulling back home as well. Not much initially then. HeroMarine even his factory in the main base. We have seen him proxying his factory around a little bit today so far. So factory actually going into the main base and staying in the main base is nice to see. As you do just have the Stargate is about halfway done at the moment. So Stargate about halfway done. Just going to be seeing the Warp Gate on its way. Couple extra probes continuing through at the moment then, so far, so good. Attack level drop down in the factory from HeroMarine, as our Oracle is going to make its way out from Neeb. Obviously, is always a bit of a choice in PvT. Phoenix are a very popular way of opening in the matchup as well, especially creates a lot of good defensive setups. As our Hellion goes for a little bit of a run around on the natural, and 2 gates start up to follow us up from that. So getting into 2 more gateways. Hellion just going to sit out over the right side. A couple gates coming in then, and just going to be having the Oracle. Kind of Revelation down, keeping track of things. The other Oracle kind of setting up as well. The command center about to finish up as our tank is about to be... Oh no, well, our tanks will continue to produce a couple extra racks, and there is an engineering bay coming in along with this, so far, so good. Stasis ward goes down. Is going to be seeing Neeb. Just getting cancelled, and now he's going to get intercepted. Beautiful position on the Cyclone by HeroMarine. That's a dead Oracle, guys. So Oracle goes down already. So Oracle goes down right from the start. Just going to be seeing our sentries continue warp in, and the Forge and the Twilight Council coming in as well. Setting that up on the main base. Robo 2, it's kind of the typical, like, I built a Stargate early, but now I actually need the unit, the structures that are going to help me win the game. Like, the Stargate's a really good way to set up, sure. But the Twilight, the Forge, and the Robo, it's like, it is really that follow-up. No, loses an Oracle. That's the second Oracle he's lost. This is so expensive. It really is, you know, those things that you actually need in the mid-game to actually carry you through. Now, Oracles are finally finding some SCVs at least, but I mean, you've lost 2 of them for now. 3 SCVs and I think like a Reaper and a Hellion or something. This is not good. I mean, that's triple Stargate unit that has just gone down for nothing. That's real rough. Because you kind of need those units, right? Like, the Oracles, you build 3 of them for a reason. And if you build 3, everything else is delayed because you're putting that much gas into the Stargate production. You don't put that much gas into Stargate production just for it to backfire in your face. This is the sort of moment where HeroMarine, as he pushes across the map, is going to start, you know, it's going to start to look like, well, why the hell has HeroMarine got so much stuff? Well, it's because the Oracles did nothing. We'll see here when he does want to push across. Doesn't go just yet. Gives the idea of it to the hallucination. Stim pack's about to be done, but combat shield's a little way off, and there's no starport units out just yet, so waiting for these 2 medevacs as well, perhaps, to help with this one. A handful of Marines will make their way around to the right-hand side. All the way around the right and looking as though they'll make their way down towards this mineral line very soon. Army in the center, Bioforces starting to come through the middle, and just going to see an Oracle dropping the Revelation down, tagging up the Bio a little bit. Here we go. I mean, that was a dangerous moment because I feel like those 2 Immortals being in the front line is not really meant to happen either. Tell you what, there's just no charge ready yet. 20 seconds away from charge being done. Tank Sieges, oh my god, what a catch that is. The Colossus, I mean, he could have maybe jumped on the Colossus there as it was moving from the natural to the main. Super Battery's going to go down without a moment's hesitation for sure. The other medevac's going to load up and now unload back down the low ground once again. Here come the other medevacs through the top side. So starting to mix it up, and HeroMarine, this is what we know he can do so very well. This whole idea of starting to drop around everywhere, really making the game chaotic, and really punishing mistakes from his opponent with that. Couple Zealots on the right side gonna get picked off right away, and some more Zealots showing up. WARDS actually doing the job of slowing things down a little bit. Bio comes in from the bottom side, and that's what he's good at. You know, you draw units out of position towards the main defensively, then you wrap around from the bottom side and you get a kill on the 3rd base, or you get a kill on a bunch of units on the 3rd base. The 3rd base itself just stands. I mean, those are the trades that really just put HeroMarine into great spots. Now as these units are kind of the 3rd base units, guess what? Medevac drop toward the main. So as you're taking the attention up this right side, there's already Widow Mines heading toward the main base as well. So that's already happening. Nexus on the front. We are going to see the medevacs loading around the bottom right side as well. As the Widow Mines came in for 9 probes. Now unloading in the back of this mineral line. We're also going to be pushing at the front. So, I mean, there's only a Colossus here. The attempt of a 4th base from Neeb is perhaps hopeful to say the least. He lets these Zealots warp in almost like he wants them to finish so he can guarantee the kills on them and can get some value out of it. And the natural expansion we go. Suddenly you're down 27 workers. The Widow Mines were the start of it. And then the rest continues from there. Let's just go back to those Widow Mines quickly. Just want to show them on the screen. As they unload, you can just see probes getting a little bit caught up there. That was it on the shield battery. This choke point really hurts you. And that is a very unfortunate moment or so to lose a bunch of workers. Bottom right, the red Terran player taking the 1-0 lead. This is HeroMarine. Up against the blue Protoss. On the top left-hand side, it's Neeb representing Ting, of course. Game 2 of our best of 5 series. Of course, ESL points on the line. A few ESL points remaining. And to be in this year. On top of that, with a few ESL points remaining to be earned this year, we also have the prize money up for grabs as well. $400, $200 for first, $100 second, third and fourth, $50 each. So the ESL Open Cups will continue throughout from after this week, and they will continue without ESL points on the line until the next official season of the ESL Pro Tour begins. So I believe it's about 10 cups or so that are played in what is essentially the off-season. So prize money continues, the ESL points will not. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the player sign-ups. Be really intrigued to see who starts signing up, or well, I don't imagine anyone starts signing up because they removed their ESL points, but we'll see who keeps on signing up, I suppose. So SCV coming across, double checking there is indeed a Nexus down. There's nothing too crazy about that. Center on the way. I'm just going to be seeing the Stargate setting up in towards the main base as well, so getting that going. Means the HeroMarine kind of covering at the front. We'll see, looking to fight off this Adept. If it tries to get too aggressive here, Stalker is about to pop out. And down towards the bottom side of the map. The Adept is going to shade forward to try and see what's going on. Oh, again, what Neeb needs to do this time is obviously sharpen up on this Oracle play. Oracle is going to be finishing, and this time just don't fly it into Cyclones. I mean, it's not like the first Oracle was Neeb's fault. I think the first Oracle was just well played by HeroMarine. The second Oracle was his mistake. Kind of really flew into Marines he didn't need to fly into. So just needs to kind of sharpen up on that. You can't lose double Oracle when you open triple Oracle. It's just way too expensive. You cannot possibly let that happen. Oracle gets turned around as you see it going in for the Mineral Lion. Back towards the main base here. Robo facility sets up on the natural. We're going to have the Oracle just in the center. Going to set up a stasis wall already. So going to get that finished up. Oracle's just moving around, heading down the bottom side again. +1 attack, combat shield coming through. Just gonna see how Marines coming around. Just Oracle's being pushed away. Twilight Council gonna be finishing up. Enemy Blink coming out, +1 attack coming through from Neeb, getting this ready to go. Uncles drop a Revelation to begin with here. And obviously they've just been doing a pretty good job of keeping map control so far. Nothing's really going down. Pretty passive game for 5-6 minutes of this so far. Again, just the Oracle's keeping track of stuff. HeroMarine with extra racks on the way. He's got his 3rd CC up and running as well. The Bioforce will make its way to the top of the map and test what Neeb's defenses are looking like here. Force fields are down and just cutting this army in half. The Immortals getting to work already. And putting some damage out over that right-hand side. Just going to be seeing the Medivacs, 2 of them going to be heading forward, and that's going to be again the start of HeroMarine jumping around all over the map. And we know how dangerous he is in this phase of the game, like I've been saying, like we've watched in his TVP today. You see how this is going. It's just going to be seeing the Bio army coming forward, and Immortal gets taken down. Pylon gets picked off, and Stalkers are dropping too. This is already not a good trade for Neeb, I don't think. These Medivacs will go in the main, and guess what? Nothing on the natural. I mean, a cannon is kind of about it at the moment here. As you're going to see this Pylon going down. Well, I actually thought there was going to be more units here, but a couple of these slots were taken up by Widow Mines, which I guess actually do pretty well in the end. This didn't mean, it just meant there wasn't that much firepower to actually even kill off the cannon, which I thought was actually just kind of a guaranteed kill there. Alright, well, Bio just going to be setting up the right side still. Bio on the high ground as well, just finding these little slots where, of course, you can pick away at probes, etc. Stalkers blink in, Medivac goes down. Rest of the Bio from HeroMarine going to come pushing forwards here, and he's just going to jump on top of a bunch of Stalkers all over again. Again, just these trades seem to be costing Neeb a little bit too much. He's down, what, about 30-ish army supply at the moment? He's about to get extended thermal lance, so the Colossus are going to become a little bit better, but there's only 2 of them, and a supply block right now is hurting Neeb from getting his next Colossus on the way. And that's obviously huge, because at the moment you would need any unit you can get just to help with this defense. Stalkers blinking around, Medivac taking damage, and here come 4 more Medivacs making their way out across to the upper left. Drops into the natural. It's kind of a big drop, but he actually stopped dropping, so he decides not to go for it. He's running up this right side, but there's a stasis ward here, and that's a big catch. Bunch of Bio going to get caught in this, so a lot of Bio going to get caught there, as we do have the Bio on the left side still waiting. But yeah, this is actually kind of painful for HeroMarine. Now you need to make a play with this to try and pull units away to maybe guarantee an escape for these units. So HeroMarine just runs in, couple cannons going down to start. I mean, Neeb's going to try and hold this off with the Stalker warp in. Super battery as well. I missed what went down over here. Looks like just a couple units. Looks like Neeb got away with most of it as the rest of the Bio coming through. Medivacs overhead, now dropping into the natural where there was another stasis. I will say these Oracles have really stepped up all of a sudden. Oracles have really started to deliver some stasis wars that are actually really slowing HeroMarine down and making HeroMarine's aggression really just disjointed, honestly. Again, pushed away through the top, and we're just going to be seeing the Medivacs on the left side unable to really make a difference either. Stalkers Gonna try and clean up some of that too, as now the Vikings getting caught as well. All of a sudden, Neeb has a lot of stuff to push back down the map with. And HeroMarine has maybe given up a little bit too much in the last few moments of this. Eye on the left, I mean, again, Neeb not going to be done with dealing with this aggression of HeroMarine yet. HeroMarine's units, though, low HP, not enough medevacs to heal everything for the moment, and not great right now as we're going to be seeing the medevac taking some damage. Stalkers are taking a couple of shots of damage onto that medevac as well. As Neeb backs off a little bit, HeroMarine will regather, and it's maxing out a bit. He's going to be up against some disruptors fairly soon, so a couple of extra disruptors being added on. Looks like we might get a bit of a skirmish here. Another good Stasis Ward. I mean, Stasis Wards have really been so valuable as of late, as these Vikings will get one Colossus, and the EMP kind of dropped on a couple of sentries, but doesn't really do much else. Oh, nice disruptor timing. Bang! Straight on top of that Stasis set of units that come out of it. You actually see the medevacs chased by Stalkers again. How many medevacs have gone down at this point? It feels like a huge amount. 8 medevacs lost at this stage. Extra High Templar and Zealots warping in on the left side. 2 medevacs to HeroMarine. 2 more going to go to the top. And again, what a change of pace in this game so far. We've seen the medevac of... Sorry, the Oracle of Neeb getting shot down. Is that the last Oracle? It is, man. HeroMarine will be happy to see the end of those, because we've seen a ridiculous amount of Stasis Wards just being extremely successful here over the last few moments. Like, the Stasis Wards have been out of this world. Last few moments, last few minutes. Vikings coming forward, trying to fight. Bio gonna take down a few of these Zealots. Marine's back to dropping, this time up in the main base, and he's looking for a forge. A few of these Zealots already going down. We are going to be seeing the Zealots just not going to be able to hold on to this. So at the moment, that's going to be a dead forge. +3 attack denied. Okay. That's a nice little win. And finally, some reinforcements being warped in here from Neeb to really fight this off. He'll blink in underneath, and at this point, the medevacs have done their job. So has the bio units. So they'll just trade out with whatever else is left. Whatever you can get your hands on. 9 probes killed in the process. With the army of HeroMarine trying to move out down the front, a command center, and another one building as he goes up to 5 bases and has the options for more. I mean, Neeb is in the same position, now really amplifying his later game as well. Shadow Stride for the Dark Templar means that he can obviously really start to put up the pressure around the map a bit better. But HeroMarine is looking to slow the game down with the ranged Liberators coming out, looking to be able to lock down positions more easily and really make some slower pushes rather than just dropping around all over the place and relying heavily on the medevacs and bio mobility. Vikings gonna get another Colossus. Ah, no, what? 1 HP? Okay, never found out. It died very quickly after. The last few EMPs have been pretty good. The bio dodges away from disruptors. There's a few bio units inside of a medevac. A little bit of a run by up to the top right, but DTs are warped in. That's gonna deal with this pretty much instantly. Disruptor shots, and that's gonna be a couple of ghosts going down already. Good EMPs across the board. $15 deep, and even HeroMarine are really going to go to battle in the later stages with the Liberator count rising. You can see HeroMarine already kind of setting this up. Oh, this is a good catch. Oh, that Colossus is lucky to escape away, but look what's out of position. It's the Disruptors. One of them gets taken down. The other's actually a little bit further back, so they're going to be okay. Lib setting up. Disruptor shot's not quite going to connect, and Liberators are there to try and keep the rest of this at bay. Let's just go and siege and push forward again. And, oh, I mean, it feels like Neeb was just a little bit not paying attention there, right? Moment or two for HeroMarine to just get a few free shots off. That's the Lib sieging up. Disruptor shot doesn't quite connect. The rest of the bio still fighting here. And we're seeing DTs coming in from the other side. I mean, at this point, HeroMarine's probably going to get cleaned up. But he's taking down a lot of expensive units with him, and he's even taking down all the DTs that just flanked in, so that's a really expensive loss from Neeb. Very difficult to rebuild DTs in this scenario because they just cost so much, and when you're losing stuff like disruptors, you got to get them back on the production tab. You got to really prioritize. So the DTs, he's going to build 5 more, but by building 5 more DTs, I feel like you're really not aiming to max out, rather than just maybe get something on the map that can create a lot of pressure and maybe hit some bases. Where are all those DTs at right now? 8 of them around the top side, so they're going to look to maybe hit this base or so. Not sure how well that's going to go. I love that HeroMarine has a Liberator overhead just to kind of hold this. Rest of Neeb's army kind of holding out around the ramp. The missile turret is very nearly going down there. It is going to fall. The Disruptor shot doesn't quite reach, and there's the DTs pushed back by the Planetary and the Lib, so no success over there. Like I say, it's much more a play of trying to deal some damage more than anything else. Nice full medevac drop up here, spotted by DTs. Obviously, nothing to really stop it from dropping, but the DTs could maybe jump on top. 4 cannons actually done. He just obliterated the first medevac. That's a scan, but I mean, that's a lot of DTs as well. He's going to load back up and look elsewhere. Still trying to push forward over here, and that includes an attempt to sim forward. I mean, the Liberators, again, really control this position well. Stemming in, a couple of these cannons going down, batteries falling as well. I mean, now you're going to bring the rest of the units from the right side, so those medevacs join up. It's one of the masterful things that HeroMarine is good at, bringing his drops back to create a main army again, right? Or to reinforce the main army. He always has the pathways set so he can be like, right, I want to create a larger attack now. In this scenario, though, Neeb really dealt with it well. He didn't leave anything back to the top side. He had everything over here to fight it. He actually caught it kind of on the rocks as well, so he gets off to a good start in that fight. EMP misses, I believe, the DTs, which he tried to get some detection onto. The Liberators are a huge part of this. Right now, half of them are on siege. However, the Stalkers are just walking forward into the few that are sieged. And Neeb is just going to lose a ton of supply in Stalkers. And that's going to actually give HeroMarine the space to siege further Liberators even further forward. And now this Nexus is going to fall. HeroMarines have been attempting to take this down for quite some time. And now it actually is going to die. Or is it? I mean, Disruptor shot for the moment. Bio is trying to find a mix of fighting units versus also getting rid of the base. The base is going to go down. He scans for the DTs, lifts up. He's going to go drop elsewhere. The Stalkers from behind are going to get rid of a bunch of the Libs. There, a few of them are going to try and retreat away. Stalkers in the natural shoot down some medevacs. Okay, we have quite an epic game number 2 on our hands here on Romanticide, guys. Neeb coming chasing down the bottom. He shoots down 2 more Libs. HeroMarine had the money to rebuild. Remember, Neeb's got other bases around the map, and I feel like HeroMarine has been an eternity since he built these orbitals or command centers, and he just never took another base. I mean, it feels like I mentioned them a while ago, unless I'm going crazy, but it feels like it's been a while, and he just still doesn't have anything more than the 5 bases up and running, so yeah, nice to see him actually moving forward to another base here, and that's going to be necessary. You can see his money running low, yet he still has 75 SCVs. Instantly transferring a whole ton of them. I mean, the 3 bases are mined out. The 4th and 5th are the ones that are holding the economy together for the moment. So Lib setting up as you do just have the DTs of Neeb running around the top right. Fire pushes forward. Nexus goes down. Far left, we have this little drop that's still around from earlier. Actually, just getting a few probes and denying some mine is kind of a big deal at this stage. And actually over here as well, long distance mining probes. Not going to find much success. GTs get shut down hard. There's 2 Liberators sieged up on this base right now. You'd imagine it should be shut down hard with 2 Libs being there. Army pushing forward. The Disruptors didn't connect apparently, so gonna get forward. Doesn't actually take the chance to leap on the Disruptors. We'll get the Colossus that just came in the recall. And the HeroMarine is the one to find a better fight up on the top side. Everything else pushing through. On the bottom left, we actually have a Bio Army pushing down to this side as well. Battery gets EMP'd. The cannons are going down as well. And we are just going to push our way into this bottom left corner. And I think this is a breaking point maybe for Neeb, where HeroMarine is just going to take down his bases. And Neeb's not going to have that much money left. And so Neeb needs to start winning some fights big time, because HeroMarine's got a bank already. And Neeb just doesn't. He is going to make a blink up here. And that's going to catch some low HP units. Liberator not siege. Disruptor to try and zone, but the Disruptor will not zone Liberators. And boy, are there quite a lot of Liberators as they start to come back into position here. Stalkers will blink through to do what they can. Blinking forward, Disruptor shots to hit the SCVs wherever possible. Neeb's going to pull away to the right-hand side instead now, deciding to go to this side where the defenses are not. Try and take down some economy of HeroMarine. There's 2 bases on the right that HeroMarine would like to keep hold of, if for no other reason than the fact there's almost 30, 40 SCVs on the right side. Over 2/3 of his economy kind of exposed, unless he can chase down with the Liberators. Neeb going to realize this now. He's going to make the blink onto the Planetary Fortress. EMP hits the Stalkers in the center. Disruptor shot comes forward though. And Neeb just going to start cleaning out. I mean, again, there's already 20 SCVs down. We know there's more where that came from. On the far right here, there's 25 SCVs on this base. So HeroMarine could go down to 25 workers in this moment if he isn't careful. Neeb is building up on the right side as well behind this. However, the only Disruptor shot is now firing. I don't think the other Disruptors have shots available. I lied. There is at least one, and there it is. Firing through right now. Hits just a Marine. The Ghosts are still okay, and maybe one more EMP left in this. HeroMarine is chasing. There's no Zealots in the front lines, meaning there's just nothing to tank. Colossus tries to be targeted, but it gets away. Libs are chasing as well. The Stalkers blink, but guess what? Colossi can't. It's being chased down. The Liberators are going for it. Bio to catch the Disruptors, and Neeb's going to lose pretty much everything on the top of the map, including the Nexus, as now HeroMarine has been given position as he chases the army all the way over here. And what army's even left? Stalkers, Zealots, gateway units, and a couple Disruptors to try hold for Neeb. He doesn't even fire with the Disruptors just yet. EMP's going crazy, but there's so many Zealots on top of the Bio pushing this back. Neeb's supply is still dropping, however, reinforcements of HeroMarine showing up as the Libs went down. Doesn't matter though, HeroMarine has too much. 6 to 8 army supply left of Neeb, and HeroMarine wins a freaking epic on Romanticide. Holy crap. In the top right-hand side, on game number 3, we've got up 2-0. Our red Terran player from Mouse Sports, it's HeroMarine, taking that 2-0 lead after 25 minutes of Romanticide. In the bottom left is going to be Blue Protoss player Neeb. SCV and the Probe going to fight against each other here. As Neeb going to try and slow down the command center just a little bit. What a great game number. Great number 2. It started kind of slow. You know, it was one of those games where not a lot happened in the early stages. And then HeroMarine really ramped it up. And what Neeb really did well was he just stabilized. And I think the big turning point for Neeb in the aggressive part of HeroMarine's game was the Stasis wards. There was a point where it just felt like all of a sudden there was a Stasis ward in every avenue of attack, and HeroMarine's momentum got completely broken down by the Oracle play. And because of that, Neeb really just powered up, and from there it felt like he was winning a lot of fights, and eventually HeroMarine builds those Liberators, and it kind of comes down to just both players kind of needing an extra base, and Neeb feeling like he can, you know, maybe deny some economy and stuff like that. You have our SCV coming across, looking to see what's up. Reaper and the Marine coming down in the factory, already on the way up. So getting this set to go, factory finishing. So just a reactor opening, but we'll get a Reaper just so you can move across the map with it. and pick up some information. So away we go down to the bottom side. Try and look for some damage here in the next couple of moments. Do have our adept just going to be in position to put some damage out, and the Reaper's going to be chased already. So he just wants to get a scout, and he does get the scout on the Stalker and the blink. So you get to see the blink, you get to see a second gateway already, and I think that's actually pretty good info for you as HeroMarine. And when that Reaper's already taken 2 shots, there's really nothing else it can do. It's never getting out of there, so that's pretty much the best thing you can do. Hellion is going to come around and head down to the south. We do have a Stalker and a Adept just picking their way through the rocks. A Sentry here as well, and the Raven is coming up on the starport. 2 more barracks just building, and Blink is about halfway along here from Neeb, and just going to be seeing the Engineering Bay on the back of this natural from HeroMarine. So nice quick bio setup. Going to get the upgrades going. He does get a Raven this game, so we'll see a bit of Raven action from him. Obviously, he's not against a Stargate for the first time in a long time, so I think that's why you're going to see the Raven here compared to the previous games where we have not seen a Raven. So yeah, playing against Blink for the first time in this series. As by the way, just a quick update, I suppose, as this happened a little while ago, but I do believe Clem already advanced through to the finals today, 3-0 against Lambos. The winner of this will play Clem in the finals of this ESL Open Cup weekly number 52. Hallucinated Phoenix gets taken down at the start, and a Hellion from HeroMarine going to run on in to pick away at a probe or 2 in this third base, so a little bit of damage being done already. Our Stalkers of Neeb start to make their way up to the upper right side. So making some progress over there as we get ourselves into the action. Stalker's just going to blink up for 6 kills. I mean, that's kind of nice. However, these 4 Stalkers are obviously a little bit stuck. If they blink now, the auto turret will come down, and that's going to be kills on... Well, these 2 are still going to get away. So what, you lose 2? Okay, 3 Stalkers. They kill 6 SCVs. Stalkers are just expensive is the problem. You know, 6 SCVs is very nice. It's a lot of economy denied, but Stalkers, again, they really are expensive, and now you don't actually have any, so you kind of got to rebuild them as well. So they're going to take up gas. They are meant to be your drop defense, right? So if you don't build any Stalkers now, the only extra addition is obviously you use up all the energy on the Ravens. The Raven is not as useful for HeroMarine as it might otherwise be at this stage. So that's another benefit, right? It's like you trade out Stalkers for energy, which is obviously not really a good trade, but it does keep you safer from the immediate follow-up, this push right now. So that does help, and 2 sentries here. Plus 1 just about to finish. Charge is going to be done in a moment from Neeb, so you'll have that to aid him in a defense if necessary. Which I think, let's face it, probably will be. I like this from HeroMarine. Just going to drop across. You know what? Neeb is kind of a little corner here where he's a little bit blind, so he will not see. Okay, yeah, HeroMarine just moves in anyway. He doesn't necessarily know that, right? As he's going to force the recall. Kills the Stalker right away. He's going to get in, and he's going to just... not sure what the goal was there. He's actually going to get cleaned up as he tries to walk away. Gets caught by the other units, which do chase. You know, when he forced the recall on the main, I wonder what the effect would be if he just runs to the natural, right? Because if everything recalls here and takes a few moments, he could be like here by the time everything's recalled. And then you get to a natural that's just defenseless. And if it's got defense on it, it probably means these units aren't over here. And then this army gets back home more easily initially. I actually think this was very well defended by Neeb. He doesn't really take any damage, and he obviously actually gets quite a couple of units on the cleanup. He got the Raven, he got the tanks. So I think this game absolutely going in Neeb's favor for the moment, as we are going to be seeing the medevacs coming back over the other side. And Neeb's actually in a bit of an awkward spot right now. He's not close to any reinforcements. I'm not sure how good those force fields really are. Like, they are going to hold this back a little bit, but does it save you? Problem is, the tanks were in range to begin with, and like I say, Neeb was a little bit out of position, so he ends up losing an Immortal, a Sentry, and a few other units. Good catch from HeroMarine. Just bad position to be in that moment from Neeb. As the rest of the bio starts to move on down. Robo Bay sets up from Neeb on the third base, so getting that ready to go. Just going to be seeing the Robo Bay 1-1 upgrades. Observer on the way up. All of that coming into play right now. There's a couple of tank siege. We're going to try and move the bio forward here, and a couple of zealots go down. That's a dead sentry as well. This is actually just a dead super battery killed as it gets morphed into a super battery. This is also the Robo Bay, by the way, so if you want a prime target to target down, that would be it. At the same time, zealots are showing up. Neeb, probably the best time to show up with the zealots. There's barely any defenses back at home, so it's absolutely an opportunity for Neeb to make up for some of the losses he's taken on the other side of the map. He's down to just one Immortal. As the SCVs are pulled in to try and hold the zealots off. Reinforcements continue to come on through, though, and eventually this is going to be a cleanup. Took a little while, and 4 of the zealots even get saved on low HP. Also frustrating as HeroMarine just feels like he has to back away. Down 20 workers once again. I'm just going to recoil this Prism out of the corner, so it is saved. Now HeroMarine maybe gets a chance to go back across the map as his third CC gets set up. There's a 4th base already finishing from Neeb as well, and it just feels like Neeb has had the everlasting edge here in game number 3 so far. Just feels like, apart from the that time he got caught like over here, it feels like all these trades are okay for him because, yes, he lost Immortals down over here, but the damage he's done, the slowdown he's made happen, I almost want to say it just makes up for it. I think it kind of turns out to be okay. As you just have the Dark Shrine is on the way in the bottom left corner. Here come the bio forces of HeroMarine continue to come on through. Let's them forward just a little bit, and we are going to be seeing the bio just sitting here. A couple libs get sieged up, and tanks are going to unsiege and move further forward as well. So trying to start choking out Neeb just a little bit. Tanks to drop over to the other side. Hey, that Robo Bay's in trouble, huh? It's kind of a position you need to fight in, as we actually have 2 liberators to help. I mean, I don't know why they siege up on top of the Robo Bay necessarily, but yeah, I guess stops units getting into range of the tanks, right? It seems silly at first, but then you realize it's actually protecting this area here more than anything. It was a silly moment for me to say it the way I did. I just expected them to be more sieged up like this, right? It felt like they were pointing at the Robo Bay before, when you expect them to kind of point more toward the army, which it does start to happen now. 8 SCVs killed, man. The zealots on the other side of the map will continue to just cause chaos, and that's definitely one of the bigger issues at the moment for HeroMarine, as SCVs will be used to surround. But 16 workers killed, and HeroMarine's going to try and slot his units into position to kill off this Nexus. Neeb, hello? Yeah, you need to actually respond to that. And he started to move forward. He's actually just going to lose the base. Well, can he just afford to lose the base because he's killing so many workers? DT's showing up as well. I mean, I do rather him give up the base if he feels like he can't fight it effectively than you know, lose the game, losing his army trying to keep it. DT in the main base as well is causing some issues as these DTs just kind of walk down in toward the natural, so that's a bit of a mistake. Fight actually breaking out over here. HeroMarine just will not break through this army, and he will not be able to keep his units alive, his workers alive long enough to keep a responsible economy to win the game up. That's going to be game number 4. Couldn't quite get to grips with the last game, I feel like. Couldn't quite get himself on track. The red Terran in the upper right-hand side is HeroMarine. On the bottom left, it is the blue Protoss player from Ting. It is Neeb. Hey, what's up, Nature Boy OC? Thank you for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated as well. Still in the semi-finals here today. What are we thinking, everyone? Who have you got for game 4? Anyone thinking Neeb's going to bring this back to a game 5? Anyone got the feeling out there, maybe? I want to hear what you guys are thinking. Watching this barracks finish, very exciting, I know, but let's give it a few moments. A couple of SCVs chasing around a probe in the natural expansions, putting a bit of damage out. Probe just trying to delay that CC, and it does go down 150, so what, like 7-8 seconds late? Nice effort on the delay. Probe gonna go and nibble in for that SCV again. Show up. That'll be the end of that. Probe sticks around longer than usual because it's a reactor first, and then you go into the Marines. It just takes a while to get those out. Stargate, the choice of Neeb, so backing away from the Twilight Council opener. Gonna go for the Stargate once again, back to kind of what we saw in some of the early bits and pieces of this series. That'd be a pretty lengthy best of 5. Again, Clem waiting in the finals for whoever advances here. It's not very often that HeroMarine is the one that kind of arrives in the finals after playing a long semi-final and has to kind of go straight into the finals. So that's kind of funky. As we do have our Stargate about to finish. Again, just in the next couple of moments, get that completed. Get set up for the next step. Going to be a single Hellion for the moment out of the factory, so we'll see if that's going to continue as a trend or if there's just going to be the one of them. There's really kind of the option to go either or here, I would say. It's going to be a tech lab on the factory, so just a single Hellion to start us off with. It's out on the map, it's scouting, and it's not going to run into the Adept. It's going to keep itself alive, so job well done. Good job, Hellion. You had one job, and then you managed to screw it up. I was just praising you for how good you were doing, and now what? What have you done? Now what have you done? Oh, no. Alright, well, the Raven's about halfway along here from HeroMarine, so just waiting for that to continue through. Is going to be finishing up shortly. Impact and +1 attack on the way as well. So we get those upgrades up and running, and obviously you kind of get ready to go across the map. There is going to be the Raven popping out. Which is funky because there's obviously Phoenix here, and it's really going to be difficult to keep the Raven alive against the Phoenix, so the Phoenix are so mobile. The Raven does not last very long against the Phoenix. I mean, yep. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like, it's literally really hard to keep it alive, so much so the Phoenix just died for it. Did you essentially trade out a Phoenix for a Raven? Honestly, I would kind of say that might just be the... I would kind of say that might just be the best trade you can be looking for anyway, actually. Like, to actually just to get the Raven, but get a Phoenix for it anyways, here is like, well, at least you got something. I think there's a lot of times you just lose that Raven to the Phoenix and you don't get anything at all. Yes, if he's going down, so the Phoenix doing their job of putting a bit of damage out. Stimpack and combat shields already on the way with the +1 attack to follow up as well. That's the 2 extra medevacs just on the way, and we're going to see the first push of HeroMarine already lining up across the map. Very important right now to see what these Phoenix get up to then. Obviously, you've already kind of had a win because there's been a Raven build that wasn't very useful. Marines need to be a bit careful to stay together too. These force fields have to be pretty much perfect, I think. If you don't get good force fields right now, and this bio army gets on top of you, well, it's not like you're working with a ton of units. It's not like the Phoenix can help you out too much. You can see how those are not the force fields you're looking for. Shield battery's going to get targeted down, and now you're in some trouble. Sentries are dropping already, I mean, the Phoenix are going to show up, but these Immortals are going to go down. This is problematic, right? I mean, everything's going to start dying here. New Stalkers reinforcing, but probes are pulled in as well. So you're already losing 10 work because these were just not the force fields, guys. You need to do better than that, Neeb. The problem, I mean, let's just go back a moment or two just to show you what I'm talking about. Like I said, the force fields need to be good. What do they need to do? They need to not let this army forward. They come in behind the army. These force fields actually do barely anything. They slow down 2 Marauders, maybe these 3 Marines. They need to cut the army in half. If you cut the army in half, you don't have the damage output to justify jumping on the battery. If you can't jump on the battery, these Immortals truly are immortal, and then you can't actually kill those off. But the moment you let these units get up this ramp, you just lose all of that power. Everything falls apart. And it's all because the Phoenix, what are they meant to do as well? Like, come in and lift up 4 Marines? Like, oh, wow, you take these 4 Marines out of the equation. That doesn't change all of this dying. And that is the issue. That is the problem. GG's. HeroMarine takes the 3-1. Neeb just making a crucial mistake in the last moments there and giving Hero